Hello guys, welcome back to AWMFX. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, no matter where you are. Hello, hopefully you guys are doing great, earning quite a lot of money from the market, and of course taking great care of your health. So basically, today I would like to share a type of candlestick, So mainly if you guys have been following me, you know that I will only use candlestick for my trading. Right, line chart wise is for only SPR RBS setups, and other than that I will just use candlestick because there's a difference between line chart and candlestick. Line chart will only give you one information, that will be either the high of the candlestick, the low of the candlestick, the open, or the close only. So you out of the four, you only can choose one. So means that you only have 25% of the information. So whereas candlestick, it will give you a better version because you got a full information, and of course very obvious on that. Right, so I would like to share a type of a candlestick right here. Right, so if you guys ever encounter QML and then you have this kind of candlestick, it will be extremely helpful for you. So if you look at it, this pair right here, the 1 and the 2, all right, the 1 and the 2 right here. So maybe I enlarge it a little bit if you guys having problems looking at. So the 1 and 2, all right. So this candlestick is what we call as a full engulfing double red candlestick, right? Or should I say it's a double bearish candlestick, right? You can see it well is that the engulfing is not the normal engulfing. It's actually both are the same color, right? So in the other way, that if it's on the bullish side, you also can get the double green type of candlestick. All right, so what is so significant about this candlestick? All right, so if you ever have encountered QML, all right, at lower time frame and higher time frame, we have this candlestick, there is a very high chance that the price will react with this candlestick. And not only that, if you're able to get a maximum pain level, that's the MPL, and the decision point, then you will get a very precise entry and you can lower your risk. Okay, you lower your risk means that your this one called the reward will increase significantly. All right, so let's take a look at this candlestick for this example. Right, so what you actually need is that you don't need the price to move a lot. All right, you don't need the price to drop until you cannot recognize, So what you need is that a small movement such like this is only maybe let's say 70 something pips. Okay, if I able to get my stop loss as small as 10 pips, so 70 pips, that will be around 1 to 7 risk reward ratio, which will definitely have a significant impact on your account. Okay, so what happens is that sometimes you cannot recognize any QML or anything. That's the reason you need to go to small time frame. So once you go to small time frame, all right, so you will see something like this. There is some structure. This is what we call as a structure movement. You can see very well. So the head of this QML actually protrude just a little bit. All right, the shadow of it just protrude a little bit, and the QML will be on top right there. Right, so if you are not a good QML trader, you will usually trade based on the QML level, then you will not hit this kind of trade. Right, you definitely will have problem with it. So that's why we always need to recognize our maximum pain level and also the decision point. So maximum pain level is actually very simple. It's an area, it's a line. I would say it's a line. Okay, let's assume we have a line, and you will have a lot of rejection either from the top, okay, or from the bottom. And if you have both way, that will be extremely good. All right, excellent. So whatever the price, the last price, or should I say the last zone, that fresh zone particularly, that has before the price drop a lot and form the QML, that will be your entry area. This will be your entry area. So it's very simple to recognize. All right, so let's look at the example. So once you have the pattern, the engulfing special double red pattern, you need to go to lower time frame and look for QML. Yes, we have a QML. All right, so our I won't say mission, all right, our purpose right here is that we need to go as small as possible, trying to get a fresh zone. And of course, in this case, if you want to trade it as a 15 minutes, you already have your fresh zone, right? You already have your fresh zone. But the risk reward ratio wise, it will be not that ideal, right? Because the zone is actually a little bit bigger than expected. All right, so what you can do is that you can go a little bit lower time frame. All right, you can even go a little bit lower time frame, and from here now you will have even more information. All right, let's focus at this area for a moment. All right, so once you go into a small time frame, all right, that particular area, you can you need to find the zones where there is a lot of rejection from the top and the bottom. So particularly right here is that, let me get a straight line. This is how I do my recognize my maximum pain level. I get a straight line or a horizontal line, and then you just move the line to the area. Okay, now this is the clue. Listen to this properly, right? You don't look at whatever happens. Not to say don't look at, it's just that the impact is not so big for whatever happens on the left hand side at this point. So you need to look at whatever happens, whatever has happens right here before the price drop. All right, before the price drop. So particularly in this sense, I are able to saw one quite beautiful rejection. All right, just somewhere around here. So let's go through this process. All right, you can see very well what happens is that there is some rejection, all right, from the bottom, and then there's some hesitation. All right, then some rejection from the top. There's some price going through it, but it's okay. So overall, this is what I call as a maximum pain level, because this zone, all right, this fresh zone is the one that pushed the price drop all the way. If you recognize it. So some may have confusion at this point. All right, let me clear this. You may think that this is a decision point. No, this is definitely not a decision point. Why? It's very simple. Because the price at this point, when the price dropped, there is no longer movement of a rejection from the top and the bottom. All right, there's only a few rejection. All right, you can see only a few rejection. What I expect is that probability the best is that we have rejection from both area. It can be either after or before. All right, before means that you have rejection from the top and bottom right here, or after. So this fulfill our criteria that we have a rejection. Now with this case, we already know where is my MPL. So let me check out this MPL first. All right, MPL, we recognize our MPL. Now the in entry area is what we call as a this one called the decision point. All right, in this case we have one fresh zone right here. All right, we has only one fresh zone. Now let's look at this fresh zone. The range of this fresh zone is 4 pips. It's only 4 pips. I think it should be less than 3.9 pips. All right, now this is the case we as a human being, a logical human being, we need to consider. Okay, so what do I mean? Very simple. 4 pips. All right, you need to look at the spread. All right, you need to look at the spread of this particular pair. All right, if this pair, the spread on your broker is, let's assume is a 1.5, all right, or maybe 2, then having a 3.9 pips zone will be very, very dangerous. All right, that's why I will encourage you guys, sometimes you need to enlarge a little bit, not too much, all right, a little bit. So in this case, I got it from how much pips? Just now we're talking about 15 pips, right? Now we have reduced it to 10 pips, all right, around 10 pips, 9.4, 9.6, something like that. All right, so I've reduced significantly the pips. So this will be my entry area for the price to react and then drop. All right, you can see very well that the price, of course, if you took the 4 pips, you will still have that same effect. All right, this is what I mentioned. The price came into the zone, all right, to the edge of the zone, and if you don't consider the spread, you'll be stopped out. All right, you'll be stopped out. So it's always better to have a few more pips, not too much, not to say that you're gonna have 20-30 pips, all right, just a few more pips as a protection to your entry. So once you got everything correct, you have your QML, you have your MPL, you have the decision point. Then we go back to our H1 for a moment. Then what do we have just now? We have the special engulfing patterns, all these things. You can see very, very clear that the price came into the zone, reacted, and then dropped. Okay, now the take profit zone is actually very, very simple, right? You only need to consider where the fresh zone is. Okay, so there are 2 fresh zones. One is right here, all right, the red candlestick right there, and the other one is below there. So particularly I will monitor for the first candlestick, look at how it the reaction is, and then once it has gone through, okay, we know that the take profit will definitely at the bottom right here. So in this case, this kind of trade is actually quite profitable, and it always happens not only on Euro USD, it happens at other pair also. So learn to trade well, right? So we have around 1 to 6.5 risk reward ratio. Learn it well, and then use it. Practice it first. Practice before using the real money, and from there, all right, from there onwards, you may get profit, and then of course do whatever you want, just like me. All right, so before that, I'd like to apologize a little bit because I've been away for quite some time, having some family issue. My dad is going through some operation soon, so I need to be there for him. And yeah, I hope everything goes well, and I will be back with more information for you guys. So if you guys like the info that I share with you today, please do give me a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel so that you'll get more information in the future. And for those who are been trading for quite some a while, and then have not getting a lot of profit, or should I say not getting your ideal profit, you may consider the mentorship. All right, so at this moment the mentorship has the registration is closed because I will only take limited students on limited time. So the mentorship will be on the duration, so you cannot come in at the middle. All right, so you need to wait for the next registration time to open. If you want any other information, you can contact my assistants at the description below. All right, so that's all for today. I'm gonna see you guys then. Bye.